Salutations, my fair lords, ladies, and lieges. I am Ashley Shelley, and you are tuning in to ASD POV Media Reviews. In case anybody doesn't understand, ASD is for Autism Spectrum Disorder, and POV, everyone should know, is point of view. So, here we go. Well, happy belated Resurrection Day. And I am, of course, referring to the vampire Dracula, not Jesus. Sorry, Jesus. This evening, while I am dressed like a vampire myself, and drinking blood, don't worry, it's just red colored electrolytes. I want to talk about an up and coming music star who is slowly but surely becoming popular through YouTube and Meta. His name is Carlos Filovich. He is 27 years old, and he's originally from the city and country in South America where the Disney movie The Emperor's New Groove takes place, and from which the leading character's name hails. So, yeah, Cusco. Oh, that's my cat. Music is not only a huge cultural influence for Carlos, but he grew up with different musical influences such as rock and roll, pop, hip hop, jazz, reggae, and Latin music, taking inspiration from his parents' musical tastes and playing drums and piano in school. He is also a huge movie enthusiast, as am I. You know why I'm doing this. So his song Vampire, which is stemming from the 1992 Bram Stoker's Dracula, you might say it holds my soul like a cigarette. Huh? Huh? No, that was bad. And that last part is one of his lyrics. I would not take credit for such a masterpiece. If you ask me how many times I watched his music video, which has outstanding video production, attention to detail, and well worth whatever the budget was to produce it, I would simply say yes. I've rewatched it so many times since it was published on Instagram and YouTube on January 30th of this year, 2026. I have been conversing with him since February 4th, asking him about himself, his music, and his vampire music video, which I would say is my favorite music video out of anyone who is not yet famous. I was curious one day about his conflicting first name and surname because I had never seen a Latino name with a Slavic one. He was so polite about it when informing me that he has both Spanish/South American roots as well as Croatian. I know very little, actually nothing about Croatia, but what I do know is that people with mixed heritages tend to have the most creativity. I don't know if there are statistics about it, but I prefer my personal observations to quantitative data. Don't like numbers. Boo. This music video matches the vibe of the 1992 movie Bram Stoker's Dracula almost perfectly. It showcases a perspective that I only noticed when I recently rewatched the movie. It's been my second time this March realizing how complicated the love triangle was between Dracula, Wilhelmina Harker, née Murray, and Jonathan Harker was. Wilhelmina, or more commonly known as Mina, was in love with both her fiancé and Count Dracula at the same time. While Jonathan was being tortured by Vlad Dracula's 3 brides, also, who the hell needs that many brides? Mina was willingly being courted by her vampire suitor. He didn't use his powers to make her fall in love with him. He used them 1 to 2 times just to influence certain situations, but her feelings for him were as real as his were for her. Some more water. He was obsessed with the past, trying to make things right for his princess, who committed suicide based on fake news of Drax's death by his enemies. Whether he truly loved Mina or he loved the version of his lost wife that he wanted to restore, we may never know for sure, but he was enough for her to cheat on Jonathan, and, well, it's complicated. Jonathan never blamed Mina for loving them both, even to the bitter end. Men today would call him a simp or a cuck, even though those people clearly don't know what those words mean. But throughout the movie, he simply understands what she was going through because he was being blood drained and raped repeatedly by 3 she-demons. Back to the music video. There is no Jonathan Harker, just Mina and Dracula. And they don't exactly have names, it's obvious that the music video is based on the movie, which is based on the book, whatever. Carlos's portrayal of Dracula is phenomenal in the God, I am actually stuttering again. Intimacies, kissing and shit. Well, not shit, stuff. In acting between him and Sydney Vanklevuren, I think that's how you say her name, who plays Mina in this music video. The Victorian Gothic ensemble looks so professional, from his outfit to his top hat and glasses. The only things I will say that are not as flattering are that the women's costumes look cheap and his wig isn't the best. I love long curly hair myself, but the wig isn't too convincing. However, when the top hat is covering up the scalp of the wig, it looks much more believable. I do want to find a pair of those glasses, though. Probably do it on Amazon. In our discussions, Carlos did mention that he likes to incorporate his actual life experiences into his music, so the entire message of Mina canonically messing with Dracula's heart in the music video, and both his and Jonathan's in the movie, makes it all more powerful to relate to a real person's feelings and of their own stories. By the way, in no way am I trying to paint Mina Murray as for the streets. Every fictional character and every real person is flawed and makes bad decisions that hurt people. It's how we learn from these struggles of the soul and heart that define our character the most. I want it to be well known that in this particular YouTube video, I am only doing a media comparison between Carlos Filinich's music video and the early 90s movie that are adaptations of Bram Stoker's novel, published on May 26th, 1897. I have been borrowing my mother-in-law's physical book copy. Look at that, isn't it beautiful? It's beautiful. Since Thanksgiving of 2024. I am not proud of how slow of a reader I am, or how easily my attention span is manipulated. However, I am 3 chapters short of finishing it, and I will publish my book review on the exact day this year that the original book was released. I'm going to repeat it just in case anybody forgot. May 26th. Thank you for subscribing to my rants regarding my admiration for Carlos Filinich's music. His gothic R&B/soul single is my most watched on YouTube, and it's officially one of my autistic/ADHD hyperfixations. Bye! Look how cool my wings are.